Hello, Dr. Audrey Tang here, and today's Q&Audrey comes from a student, and this student writes, I have just taken one of those psychometric tests and I've come out in a certain way. However, I don't want to be that particular way. Is it possible to change? Well, the first thing you need to remember is psychometrics often give you a snapshot of your emotions and how you're feeling and how you're behaving at that time. Certainly, if the result is different to what you perceive yourself to be, it is worth exploring a little bit further, just in case you may not realise you're putting out certain behaviours that may be causing you problems, but realising that you're doing them could make that difference. So, on the one hand, whilst just be careful that you treat them as a snapshot, also be aware that there may be something in any discrepancies that's worth exploring. But in terms of your question, which is, can I change? Well, yes, of course. The thing about some of these psychometrics, and I'm trained in psychometrics, and I think they're great in many, many ways because they give you a starting point for exploration with coaching, but that is all they are. They are a starting point. And if I'm working with any clients and they want to make changes or move from one type of, or one type, should we say, perhaps to another, it's always possible, and that's something that you can work on as the weeks progress. What you've got to realise is you will have elements of all of those different types or traits or behaviours, and it might just be that in certain contexts you may behave in a certain way, in other contexts you may behave differently. The secret is to actually think about the behaviour that you want and identify the situations where you actually demonstrate that behaviour. The most common thing is, of course, we behave one way at work and we behave one way at home. If we would like to behave more at home in the way that we behave at work, for example, patience, I'm a lot more patient at work than I am at home, I do need to consider my thought process when I'm being patient in the workplace and apply that same thought process when it comes to dealing with the situation at home. So it's always possible to change. Remember that psychometrics are often a snapshot of how you are at that point in your life, and as life changes you, you will change as well. You will often display all the different traits, but it may be contextual, so it's wise to find out when you're displaying those traits. And psychometrics are generally used as a starting point, and because the wonderful thing about human nature is it's changeable, if you work with somebody, or even if you just take that time to get a little bit of self-development, a little bit more insight into yourself, you will be able to affect those changes too. Good luck.